Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Hammer, episode 18 I believe. With me today is Savage like always, and if you haven't noticed already, Seb is not with us today. We have Sean filling in for him. So
Hi.
yeah. Pretty standard show today. Same format as all the other ones. We'll be talking about Eldar, and that'll be our main topic. And then we'll just have the rest of the segments: Shamehammer, the lab, all that good stuff. But we'll start things off like we usually do, and we'll get a weekend review where we'll talk about what we've done in the hobby in the last week. Savage, you want to start it off? We'll get you out of the way first, because you talk so long about it. You know, you just do so much.
I know. I do. I actually did stuff this week. It's amazing.
Wait, you did?
Not very. Yeah, not really much, but yeah, it's more than nothing. I started painting my company commander for the Blood Angels company that I'm doing, and I started. I got back into the Iron Warriors Omnibus a little bit. So.
Fair enough. So you've done something that's like
I know.
a 300% increase from last week.
I think I should get like a golden star sticker or something, don't I?
You get a banana sticker. That's all.
Seb has the golden stars and he's not here, so.
Next week.
Yeah. So Sean, what about yourself? Done anything to do with the hobby in the last week?
I looked at my model, the one model that I have with me in uni. Does that count?
Yeah, that works.
Alright, yeah, that's what I did with the hobby this week.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
come on, if that counts as something, then I can do that everywhere.
Hey, it's you. So I've actually been doing some work on my own stuff. Finally, finished a commission, and I just spent this week just working on my own army for tomorrow's tournament. It's a 500 point random partner doubles tournament, so that's gonna be pretty interesting. Still not done, but we'll see. That's pretty much what I did.
You finished painting some Space Wolves and started painting some Space Wolves.
I did. I finished painting Space Wolves to start painting more Space Wolves. I'm not bored yet, so.
Yeah, operative word being yet.
Yeah, yet. So we'll move on to news and rumors. Seb, not here, has left me to deal with that, so we'll try and get through this. So now I'm actually having to do the pitches and try and figure out what I'm saying. So let's see if I can do this. Just give me a second here. There we go. Okay, so first up, we have news that Fayette 212 has a temporary site. It's fayette.blogspot.com. Obviously, if you're not aware, Fayette 212 is a rumor site, and it got shut down by Games Workshop about 2 weeks ago now. We just assumed that it was to do with releasing leaked White Dwarf and stuff like that. Go back to, I think it's like episode 16, we talked about that, so if you want to know more. So digital releases, we have a picture of that. Some new digital releases came out: Death World, Grey Knight Codex, and Civil War, and that's for Fantasy, the last one. Now, Death World and Civil War, I know Death World was a White Dwarf release. I'm pretty sure Civil War was as well. So now, if you've already bought it, you can buy it again on iPad. Apparently, it has updates to make it work in 6th edition. Savage, I know. You and I played Death World a fair bit when it came out. Is this exciting for you to have it now on iPad for 6th edition rules? I mean, it seemed pretty fun when we played it.
Yeah, I'm kind of a bit choppy, but I made out what you said. But yeah, it'd be good to see the Death World again. It's kind of stupid that you have to pay for it, but yeah, it's Games Workshop.
Yeah. Choking. Okay. Yeah, so Grey Knight Codex also, and Civil War for Fantasy, but like I said, no one plays fantasy on this show, so.
Get out of here.
So there's new Black Library releases with let's see, the Imperial Truth, an exclusive Horus Heresy, and I'm horrible at this. Seb. Why'd you leave? I can't do news and rumors.
Heresy.
Anthology released only as a Horus Heresy weekend, I think that's what it is. Yeah, and that's the pick I was given for it. So I'm guessing that might be the cover. We also have Wolf Hunt, which is a new Horus Heresy audio drama from Graham McNeil, following the Outcast Dead, whatever. Yeah. See, I'm just reading this. Like Seb actually knew what these were about.
Outcast Dead is one of the books in Horus Heresy, and
okay.
This will be the follow-up to it.
Okay, so it's like a sequel, I guess, or is it just the one after that?
Yeah, I think it's Outcast Dead, like part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Fair enough. Black Library Live. It's on the 22nd of June, and it's almost sold out already. Games Workshop delays. It's looking like the Eldar are going to have delays just like Tau. To me, it seems like they're almost going to be worse than Tau. Some stores are even having trouble getting their High Elves in stock, and High Elves have already been released. We got... Yeah. Well, some people do play Fantasy Savage, so... I know you don't believe it.
That's a lie, and we both know it.
Yeah. So, we got a message with someone... this is someone's quote from... Fade, I guess. It says, "Sad news, I just spoke to my retailer I typically go to. He said his distributor told him not to expect any of the Eldar in the first 2 weeks of their release. Games Workshop is so far behind in production that they have not even received any of their High Elves yet either. I hope some of you will be more fortunate in finding them than I will be. It sounds like Games Workshop production is still a mess, as they are going to be taking care of their direct sales first and foremost." How does everyone feel about that? I mean, it's basically saying, unless you pre-order with us, unless you buy it online, you're a second-class citizen, you know. Screw you if you want to go into a store and purchase it at your local store.
Sounds like BS to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean, how do you get your models? You buy them online, or
I buy them from the store.
A Games Workshop store, or
yeah,
just
a Games Workshop store.
Yeah, I mean, I buy my stuff from just a regular, hobby store that sells, War Machine, Games Workshop, Magic cards, and all that stuff. That's worrying for me. I know the store that I go to, I think there must be certain levels in, if you're a retailer with them, and they just got bumped up to a new level. They were telling me about that last week when I was in there. So hopefully they'll get a little bit more priority and better stock, because I'll be going in there trying to get the Eldar Codex, as soon as it comes out, and I'm going to be disappointed if I can't get it. What's the point of having these stores?
It's really, just got to the point of, it's not even an excuse that they didn't know that they were going to sell so well. Like, they've seen it with the Tau, they've seen it a bit with the High Elves, and now with the Eldar. If they can't keep up with the demand of the models, delay the release until they have models to bring it out. What's the point in bringing it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're almost doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Basically telling you, don't go into your local store, don't support your local store, get it online.
Isn't it kind of like the Steam versus EB Games sort of thing?
I guess. It's like, you can do it online, come straight to your house, but
yeah,
I mean,
or
I get a 20% discount at my local store. If I do a big order, I get a 30% discount, so that's where I'm going to get my Games Workshop stuff, and that's what I should be. That's a store, that's a brick and mortar store that I go play games at. I support them, because, well, if I don't support them, where am I going to play games? That store's going to go on, and I'm not going to be able to play games anywhere. So it's dick move, if it is on purpose. But I mean, even if it's not on purpose, you saw what happened with the Tau, and now it's worse with the Eldar. Come on.
Yeah.
So, final comments on that, Savage?
Nothing.
You're so
Did you
angry
stop-
you can't even form words.
No. It's just so infuriating. Like, how do they not manage their stock levels? It's not that hard. And if they can't keep up with the production cost of it, like, or not the production cost, like the production time, delay the release. What's the point of bringing out something if you're not going to be able to sell it?
Supply and demand, really. If you get a lot of pre-orders on the website, they delay the store. People are gonna want it. It's gonna get hyped up. People are gonna buy more of it.
Yeah, but like it's kind of crazy. Like you're getting these pre-orders, so you know how many you have to send off. You know how many you have to make, and then deal with sending them to the stores. You know, to your local stores that your retailers. It's I don't know, but moving on with that, I guess, because we got some release order schedules. It seems to be kind of mixed feelings on what's going to get released. We have a few of them here. I'm only going to look at one because it looks like most of them were 40k, but I don't want to be biased here, so I'll read the list that has fantasy in it too. Obviously, May, June is High Elves Eldar. Already done that, so that being ticked off. July, Apocalypse apparently. So August, Lizardmen. September, Blood Bowl. October, Space Marines. November, Dwarves? ? December, Hobbit. January, Tyranids. And that seems to be the list. But I mean, how do you guys feel about that? July, Apocalypse. September, Blood Bowl. October's the next 40k codex. It's been every second month. It's kind of been a 40k codex. And now we're gonna have this little break.
Yeah, they're going to play catch up with their stock.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. They're rushing out these orders. They're not having enough time to, get their stock levels big enough to have a good release. And they release it, and there's not enough stock there.
So you'll finally get your Tau.
Yeah, but I mean, Apocalypse July. No one really plays Apocalypse, but
yeah, I don't see why they need like a whole month to release that.
Well, they're probably gonna release another super heavy, another book, a bag, a limited edition bag to put your book. Some limited edition templates. Hey, I will buy another limited edition belt if they have it. I use that belt. I don't wear it, but it has a bottle opener on the inside of it, and I use that. So.
Well, hey, at least you're getting some use out of it.
It was pretty cheap as well, which is kind of a
Alright,
strange thing to say when it comes to Games Workshop, but yeah. So we'll move on. We got possibly things to look forward to in the future. Space Wolves, which is exciting for me, but apparently early to mid 2014. Inquisition, fall / the end of 2014. Blood Angels, fall or end of 2015. There's not many releases for the Space Wolves, just a specific flyer variant. Finecast Big Predator Wolf. Wolven units are included. And apparently they're also going to get almost all of the Marine releases till then, apart from flyers. That's the part that kind of is interesting for me, because what does that mean? Are you going to be able to get Space Marine units in a Space Wolf list? It's kind of confusing there. Inquisition apparently has all 3 of the orders, plus 2 different armies, Grey Knights and Sisters. And Inquisitors can replace Imperial Guard HQs, which is pretty exciting stuff. And Blood Angels are only in the early redesign. I feel like all these codexes just came out. Which obviously like Space Wolves what was that, 2009, 2010?
The oldest now, aren't they?
We got Orcs and Tyranids and stuff like that, but they're still, I feel like they just came out yesterday, but then when I actually think about it, once you start getting rid of Orcs and Tyranids and stuff, they're right there for a new release. And even Blood Angels. Horus Heresy, things coming from the Weekender. We got a few pictures for that. We have Erebus. There's a picture of him. The character everyone loves to hate.
See, I need that. I need that model.
It's a nice looking model.
It is very nice looking.
We then have some... What is this? The next thing? Oh, a drop pod. The blah 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 Assault Claw.
Oh, is that weird looking one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's they have it down here in my notes that it's a drop pod, lands like a normal drop pod, then gets up and flies away. I mean, we've already seen that. That's not new. Chaos has that in their Forge World, in one of the Imperial armors. So
You can't buy that model anymore, though.
yeah,
But
apparently you can't buy it anymore, but the rules are out there, and we have already seen it in the past. So it's more just like a Space Marine redesign of that.
Yeah.
So, and then we have what do we got? What's the next one? This guy, Mechanicum robot
Sound it out.
guy. No, I'm not even attempting. Castellax Battle Automator. There you go. Where are my notes at? Unique armaments, Mauler pattern bolt cannon. Apparently it's just shy of a Contemptor Dreadnought strength-wise. It's really interesting because we haven't really seen any Mechanicus stuff, and they almost look like they don't belong in the 40k universe. But I feel like I'm just saying that because we haven't seen it. Yeah,
They're just everything that I've seen from the Mechanicum is all blocky and very square, sharp edges. That's a bit round for my liking.
yeah. It's I don't mind the look. I feel like it doesn't really fit the 40k universe, but then I also kind of feel like if Games Workshop released a new army tomorrow, I'd say the same thing because I haven't seen it before, and it'll just take time. But it's not a bad little model. Savage, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it looks like a friggin' a heavy jack from
War Machine.
Yeah. Crossed with like a little bit of dreadnought in there.
Now we have my favorite one, and I really like this model. A new Legion tank. Apparently it's more of a cross between a Predator and a Land Raider. Just there, you've sold me. Predator crossed with a Land Raider.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing I always
Yes.
kind of didn't like about the Land Raider is you got this heavily armored tank, and it's a transport. And now you got a heavily armored tank that's actually made to kill shit.
Hey, and so where's my wallet at?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. That is a nice looking model right there. I just love the autocannon looking things on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A nice turret, nice design. I think we can all agree that it's a nice model.
Majesty.
So we have some more stuff. Notes on the upcoming Horus Heresy books. Horus Heresy Book 2 covers the drop site. Wait, I'm guessing this is... When it says Horus Heresy Book 2, I'm guessing this is the Forge World Horus Heresy Book 2. Covers the drop site massacre, Salamanders, Iron Hands, Word Bearers, Night Lords, plus Mechanicus stuff. Horus Heresy Book 3, the last part of the first trilogy, is Part 2 on the Battle of Isfahan 5, and the Battle of Val, Raven Guard, Iron Warriors, Alpha Legion, and Imperial Fists. What's after that? The next trilogy of books is Prospero, Cygnus Prime, featuring Thousand Suns, Space Wolves, Ultramarines, Leo Custodes, Sisters of Silence, Blood Angels, and Daemons. That's pretty crazy. Daemons in a Horus Heresy book? I mean, that's getting to the end of the Horus Heresy right there. Well,
That is getting to the end of the Horus Heresy. Though No Fear had demons in it.
yeah, but that's... I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That's cool. But I mean, we're looking... That's after the first 3 books. We've only got the first one released, That's probably like 2015 right there, if not 2016, in release schedule. I mean, it doesn't. That's just my guess. I don't have any rumors on that. And then we have a lot of Eldar rumors as well. But I'm really not going to go in detail with them because obviously we know they're getting released. You can go on the Games Workshop website. Yeah. And check those guys out. If anyone's interested, I'm sure I can post a link with some rules when we post this video. But kind of going on from that, our main topic is Eldar, so we're going to kind of have a look at some models, and just kind of talk about our thoughts on the new release. But the thing I wanted to jump straight into about the Eldar, and this is something that we've discussed and joked about on every episode since it started showing its face, is
Penis flyer.
Yeah, penis flyer. This is the first picture that we got, and we all joked about, it looks like a bell end. And then we move up to, then we got this. We all thought, well, that's kind of boring. It just looks like a regular kind of jet. And these are the actual pictures of it. And to me, it looks basically like those two put together. And I think those early on designs were pretty much spot on. Because if you mix those together, that is basically what you get. Is this, sharp penis head thing on like a jet. I mean,
with warts.
Yeah. I mean, it still has that kind of shape at the front. It's just more sharp now. Savage, what's your thoughts on this flyer? You
No
like
words.
it?
No words.
No words? Sean, what about yourself?
It's still big.
Do you
I
like
like
it?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It's got a good design to it. If it doesn't like a penis flyer, seriously.
It's not bad. I used to run 2 of the Dark Eldar jet fighters in my Dark Eldar army. Kind of has the same kind of feel, I guess.
It
look
has
wise.
the same kind of look. Yeah.
I don't mind it. I like the one on the left a bit better than the one on the right. I think the one on the left's like the Crimson something, or maybe I'm getting them confused. The one on the left
Yeah,
that has
the one-
Iron Man flying it. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like Iron Man is in the cockpit.
Nope, I can
The one on the
see
right.
that.
Yeah.
The one on the right just looks like the Dark Elder one with a different knob.
The one
Yeah.
on the right looks. Sorry.
Yeah,
one on the right-
I definitely like the one on the left just because it has the 2 tails. But yeah. Sean, go on.
The one on the right looks like the Hemlock Wraith Fighter. Well, the one on the left looks like something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
Okay. Yeah, so I thought we'd just cover that first because, that was the big talk in like the last 2 episodes. But now I actually have a video, I believe, of it, so we'll play that and talk about it when we're... Oops, started a bit early there. Okay, well, I think that was the longest video we've had to sit through on the show so far. Getting a little bit bored at the end there. But, there we go. Initial thoughts on this, Savage? Eldar release?
Too much Eldar.
Too much Eldar? See, I'm thinking there's not enough. That looks like a small release to me.
Yeah, but the video.
Yeah, the video, but my initial thoughts, I didn't like this release. I'm looking at these models and I'm like, wait, really? This is what they look like? This is crap. Until I went onto the Games Workshop website, I had a look at, the 3D views, I had a look at the different poses of some of the models, and I'm like, these models are awesome. Why the hell did they use these, like, really dodgy poses then? Like, originally I looked at that Wraith Knight, and I'm like, the chest piece looks a bit jagged, it looks a bit stiff. Then I look at, like, the 3D view of it, I'm like, this thing is amazing. I want one of these. Same with those, Wraith Blades or whatever. They look really stiff with their axes. Then I watched that video and they've got one in there with, like, 2 swords, like these dual-wielding swords. I'm like, that's insane. Why would you not use that as your picture? But maybe just 'cause I don't really like their red paint scheme. So that might just be my opinion. Sean, what are your thoughts on the initial Eldar release?
I like the look of them. I don't like the red paint scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Agreeing with you. Probably could have used a better color. I'm looking at the Wraith Knight right now, the 360 view, and it's yellow-blue. A lot better on the eyes than the red.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think they really, I think, in my opinion, they really kind of shot themselves in the foot when they picked those kind of pictures to be the, like the face of that model. I think they could have done a better job there. But, overall, I really like the models and everything. So we'll kind of look at some of these models now. The pictures that I have mostly from leaked White Dwarfs, so you can get some better pictures from the Games Workshop website by now. But when I got these, they weren't up there. So we'll start with no, we've already done the flyer. So we'll start with the Wraith Knight. There we go. So the Wraith Knight, both of these are the red paint scheme. But thoughts on this, Sean? What are your thoughts on the Wraith Knight?
It looks big and stumpy.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all I can add to the conversation at this point.
Would you want to throw down money on it?
If I was collecting Eldar, probably.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say about it? Really, it's big.
It's big. It's stumpy.
Yeah.
It does have a good look to it.
Yeah.
I do like Eldar vehicles. I like their designs. And this one's not any different to what I'd feel about any other Eldar vehicle.
Savage, what about yourself? I know you don't play Eldar, and I don't see you playing Eldar in the future, but...
You there?
Yeah?
Okay. It's just your voice just went choppy again. But, I don't know. This makes me want to go Eldar. Especially with the dual disc.
The dual disc, yeah.
Yeah. Dual disc is where it's at.
That's kind of cool. Like, you have him in the backfield, and then he just, like, summons units, I play Dire Avengers in defense mode.
But yeah, that's it is a bit pricey though. But yeah,
What is the price on that guy?
125.
Yeah, 125.
And that's Australian price, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, it's a
expensive
giant
than
kit
store
though.
Yeah, it
It's,
is
yeah.
huge.
That's the closest thing you're gonna get to a plastic Titan right now, and that's what I like. But then, in saying that, I kind of think, I'm playing a game. I have my Wraith Knight. I put him down on the field. He's gonna be shot at every turn until my enemy's dead or until I'm dead. I cannot hide this guy. This guy's anyone's gonna be able to get line of sight to this guy. He's gonna be that big that you're probably not gonna have terrain that's gonna hide him. And that's kind of what I thought about. Like, first I'm like, oh, it's massive, it's cool, and then I'm like, well, he's gonna get shot at every turn. I haven't seen the rules yet, but do I want to be putting the points for a guy that just kind of gets shot.
Well, if they're shooting at him with everything, they're not shooting at your other guys.
Yeah, that is true. I just don't know how I like going in with that mindset that I'm going to buy this unit to be like
Bullet sponge.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Savage, you used to play Tyranids against my Dark Eldar, and any monstrous creature you brought onto the table was dead before it got into close combat, so I think you more than anyone knows the feeling of monstrous creatures and big units getting taken out, before they can do anything. Would you have that fear as well?
Maybe, but I can see this thing being like fast moving.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to look for the rules. I mean, we may have some rumored rules, but I don't really want to get into them, so we'll wait for the codex. But
what really annoys me is like Tau and Eldar both got like a flyer and this like big massive thing. It'd be cool to see like a Demon Prince kit that's like big like that for Chaos. We kind of got like the Mauler Fiend, which was cool, but
yeah, I mean, well, come on, like every army gets some big stuff apart from Space Marines. Like their biggest thing is like a Dreadnought.
Yeah,
like Grey Knights have a Dread Knight, but regular old Space Marines, their biggest thing's like a Dreadnought. I think it'd be cool to see like some big giant Space Marine thing as well. At least you got something.
Yeah,
the Mauler Fiend, But yeah, it does seem like that's the trend. Like every codex gets a flyer and a big thing, because that's what's going to sell. People are going to go into the store and they're going to buy the big thing, they're going to buy the flyer, and they're going to buy the codex, and that's $300 right there.
Yeah,
it's a little bit less depending on where you are, but then you got paints and all that stuff. But anyway, that's like the three big sells, and that's where they're going to be getting that money. But yeah, I like it. Forgetting about the price or anything like that, or the rules. It's a nice model. It's a nice big kit. I noticed on the website. Savage noticed on the website. They said, and you thought the Riptide was big. Is that kind of like the thing? Everyone's gonna get bigger than the next. Like, is the next codex gonna be bigger than the Wraith Knight? You thought the Wraith Knight was big. We had to invent a new base size for this one.
As long as they don't keep calling it monstrous creatures, I'll be happy.
Well, see, yeah, you have that problem where you don't like things that look like their vehicles being monstrous creatures.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing as well, is like, you got like the Grey Knights shitbox thing, the Tau thing, and now the Eldar thing. And they're all monstrous, well, as far as I know, they're monstrous creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at the Mauler Fiend and Forge Fiend, and it's a vehicle, and it's the most monstrous out of all of them. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's just the humanoid, like the humanoid ones get the monstrous creature. I don't know. I can't argue on it because I kind of agree with you, but at the same point, I don't really care, and I think it works. I don't think there's a problem with how they're portrayed. But yeah, I mean,
works,
the Grey Knight one is, and they're basically suits of armor more or less. The Grey Knight one is, it's a suit of armor for, a Grey Knight.
It's not even a suit of armor. It's like
it's like he's in his Terminator armor.
Outside. He's sitting on the outside.
He's kind of like in the inside of it. It's like
No,
it's like an exosuit.
It's not.
No.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. It's not.
No.
I think that's what they're going for. Is like, it's more of an extension rather than, to the model itself, making that Terminator into a monstrous creature or making that pilot. I mean, I don't think there's a problem with how they're portrayed, but then again, I can't really argue because I don't really feel that strongly about it. So,
well, it's like not the fact about the rules as much as just the fact that it's called a monstrous creature when it's clearly a vehicle. Like, it's like me calling a Land Raider a flyer or something. Like,
I don't know. I think. Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, aren't all? Sorry, this is a fluff thing, but aren't Eldar Eldar vehicles piloted by souls of dead Eldar.
I
Is
think
that-
so. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that could be why it's a creature. This one specifically.
Yeah. I mean,
It's still a suit of armor.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Carry on before I just start raging at Games Workshop over that.
I think your biggest problem with it is versing the Grey Knight, Dread Knight, and not being able to take it down in one shot by a penetrating shot, and just taking off a
What?
wound.
It's not even that. Like,
Well,
yeah,
you
that's
said to
annoying,
me before the
but-
show, you said I'm only going to complain about it until I'm versing one, which means it has to be a game rule that's your problem with it, right?
Yeah, the monstrous creature game rule.
It's just a rule that
Because
fits it.
Doesn't.
It does.
No,
It fits it.
it's
It's
not a
just the
creature.
name. You're just saying the name of it. Don't call it a monstrous
well,
creature.
Why don't they call it a monstrous vehicle?
So if they called it a
like-
monstrous vehicle, then you'd be fine if it had the same rules.
Yes.
Okay, well, send me your rulebook. I'll white out and change it for you. So the next one we have is some new characters, I guess, or the spirits here, and this sniper-looking character. I mean, thoughts on these guys? Savage.
Give it a sec. My internet's loading the pictures.
Okay.
Come back to me.
Okay. Sean.
Spirit Seer looks cool. He's rocking the whole metal fingers,
Yeah.
throwing the horns up. I can dig it. And the sniper guy, Illic, Knight Spear.
Yeah, I think that's him. Yeah.
Yeah. He looks cool. I like his design.
He looks like he's always looking at you. Like doesn't matter where you go, he's always like his eyes will follow you.
It's like one of those creepy paintings.
Yeah. I
they're
kind of
good.
noticed that in the video as like they're turning the model. I'm like, he's still looking at me.
What I don't get is why Knight Spear is the blue-yellow coloration on the site,
Hmm.
and then the Spirit Seer is that shitty red one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Eh.
I don't even know if I like the Spirit Set model. It looks yeah. But Savage, you got the pictures yet?
Yes. And they just look like Eldar.
They just look like Eldar.
Ah, they look cool, but it's...
He's
Like,
holding a sniper rifle in one hand.
Oh my god, you're right. Changed my whole opinion on it. It's the same thing, but different. Same, but different.
So next we have the Wraith Blades and obviously the Wraith Guard, which is in the same kit, which I don't have pictures for, but
So the Wraith Guard are the ones with their
the guns, yeah,
and the Wraith Blades. Right.
yeah. Wraith Guards were already in the rules, and then the Wraith Blades are the new unit. You know, I like the Wraith Guard's my favorite unit, and now that they have a new kit, that's even better. I think the Wraith Blades with the axes look a bit clunky to me, but you know, when I saw that picture of the one with the two blades, that was pretty awesome. But you know, at the end of the day, it really comes down to rules. When how I'm gonna kit my guys out, I would just hope that the blades would be better than the axes. But since they're showing the axes so much, I would assume the axes are probably better.
Yeah. They'd look cool. They'd look really good.
I hope you can still make them troop, because I used to be able to make them troop in the old codex.
That would be nice.
Yeah, so that'd be kind of cool. Just have an army of like Wraith Blades, Wraith Guard, backed up by Wraith Lords and Wraith Knights.
Yeah, man.
That's I mean, Savage.
Totally make it work.
Yeah, thoughts on the old well, I shouldn't say all new Wraith Blades and Wraith Guard.
I don't know. They look cool, but at the same time, they just look like the Wraith Lord thing. What's it called? Wraith Lord? Yeah.
Yeah,
The
Wraith
bigger thing of
Lord,
what they
Wraith
are.
Knight. Yeah.
They all, yeah. Like, I don't know. They just seem like a bit clunky.
Yeah, and then on the right we have the Codex, and then a supplement for the Codex. And as far as I can tell, they're like the same price. like $49.50 or whatever the American price is. So you buy your codex and then you got a supplement that costs exactly the same price as the codex. Haven't looked into what you get in the supplement. Probably should have done that, but I mean,
Well, they haven't even released. Haven't even said that they're releasing it yet.
oh really?
Like it's not on their. Yeah, it's not on their website or anything. So
Is it like a, yeah? Is it a digital one? 'Cause it says digital products, but whatever it is, I mean, it's you know, I mean, forgetting about the price, supplements are awesome. More information, more rules, more anything is good. Supplement, you don't have to buy a supplement. More options. I don't think anyone can argue with more options. They're not forcing you to buy it. People can say, they're just releasing this to get more money, but at the end of the day, like, they're not forcing you to buy it as well. You can still just use your regular old codex.
What do they normally include in the supplements?
I don't know. They haven't really done supplements in a while. I know that.
it's like different war gear and stuff. And
Yeah, I know when when I first started playing Space Wolves, they were a third edition rulebook at the time, and it was actually a supplement for Space Marines. So it would be like you had your Space Wolf units, but every now and then there'd be like, check the Space Marine Codex for the rules for this. Like it'd be like Predator, check Space Marine rules. So it's basically just add-ons, kind of, as far as I can tell. But I think that's about it we have for the Eldar. I'll just do a double check. What is? Oh no, that's just the video. So yeah, that's the Eldar. Last words, Sean. Anything you wanna say before we move on?
I noticed Seb said in the comments that they're pushing the Shamehammer paint collection, or that style. They need to stop because it's bad style. Apart from that, no, I like it. I like the look of them. I would be tempted to start buying into Eldar for the look.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely look good. I think they kind of. I want to say they're kind of lacking in the release. I feel like I don't know if it's just. I don't know what it is. I just feel like there's not much there considering how big the Eldar range is. They could have. I think maybe I was just looking forward to maybe getting some plastic kits for striking scorpions and howling banshees and all those guys. But
yeah, but then could you imagine that they've got 3 new products out, and they're struggling to get that out? If they had 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But last thoughts for you, Savage?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. If I ran it, I'd probably go Dark Eldar mix.
Oh
maybe.
yeah, that's how I would definitely run it. I'd go either Eldar, Dark Eldar, or Dark Eldar.
Yeah, I think I'd go Dark Eldar as the main.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely looking forward to that one. So.
Alright, so we'll move on. We have Shamehammer, which we actually have. We have 2 things. Keeping with
Plus
the
a
Eldar
bonus
theme.
thing that I thought of.
Well, that is one of the things.
No.
Oh, you just thought of one now? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll stick with the Eldar theme, and we have the. Oh, that's not it. The new boxes for Games Workshop. Savage brought this one up. Says that he doesn't like him, and I think I got to agree there. I like the older box sets. I like it when they had. Actually, I like the old 3/4 edition where they actually had the drawn pictures of the model. But besides that, I definitely like when they have the painted model, and they're on a real, well, not a real background, but they're on a, they make it look like it's kind of in a war zone type thing. That's what I liked, and this is just kind of, well, here's your model, have fun. It kind of looks like the pictures on the front might be to scale. I don't know how accurate that is, but they kind of look like that way to me. So how kind of the size of it. That's kind of cool. Sean, what's your thoughts on this?
I only recently got into 40k,
Mm-hmm.
so I only know the ones that you're talking about where that looks like they're on a playing field.
Yeah.
Compared to this one, I like them better on the playing field.
Yeah. I mean, the design of this isn't too bad. It's nice, simple. You see the model, you know what you're gonna get. A little bit plain. Savage, I think that's your problem, right?
Yeah, it's just bland. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, with the
it
older
looks
ones.
like
Go on.
it looks like all the other games that are out there, pretty much, where they've just got like the model on the front. Like, it doesn't excite you really.
Yeah,
Like,
I liked it. I like the ones before because every army kind of had its different background. So you walked into the store, and all you had to do was look for the colors of that kind of background, and you knew, like the Imperial Guard kind of has that purpley look. You're like, oh, well, that's Imperial Guard. You could definitely clearly see what they look like. Yeah, and another big thing I kind of feel is like, how much is this going to affect supply on older kits if they're going to be redoing the boxes? Because I remember when they switched last time, I had trouble getting models because someone, like, I'd go to Games Workshop, the manager would be like, no, we can't get that in because they're redoing the box for it. We can't sell it with this box. So, but yeah, I think I agree with Seb, who said it in the comments that the artwork is always the best. I liked it when they had the drawn pictures on the front of the box. I think that's what I liked. But yeah,
just one quick conspiracy theory about this as well is this, like, it's not very much to display, so I kind of had a thought that maybe they're thinking more online.
Mhm.
Like, maybe they're not, they're not thinking of the storefront presentation as much as
it's
like
probably
just sending online.
It's probably a bit cheaper to do it this way as well. You take the picture, it's the same background. You just have to put the picture that you've taken and put it on the background.
Yeah.
So.
But in the same vein, you have one background for your different armies.
Yeah.
Same deal.
It's just well, at least different armies had different backgrounds. It's not bad. I mean, I don't mind it. I don't like it as much as previous ones, but at the same stage, we're in 6th edition now. Different styles, but I don't know. So next up we have what do we got? Well, this is a post from Fox, his blog, and this is about kind of the state of 40k and kind of like blogs and Tumblr and social media sites. Is that correct, Sean?
Yep.
It's kind of about how you have more of like the hardcore players and the fans of the fluff and they take it a bit more seriously, and then you got some of the people that only know 40k through the jokes and through the memes and stuff like that. So I guess I'll quickly read it. So it's obviously a reblog if most people are going to understand how Tumblr works, but the original post was the whole Slanesh and sex discussion is a major thing in the war between the childish fandom and the people not within it. People who view the Slanesh sex and think, oh, dicks and tentacles, how cool and cute, fine, think that even those who are being on the receiving end are not consenting, blah blah blah, brutal rape, torture, and then Fox replied and said, it doesn't even matter about discussing it at this point. Slanesh has lost the very worst of, there's a typo there, very worst of the 40k fandom. I'm not even sure it's worth running my Slanesh blog anymore, because no matter how much Slanesh miniatures or artwork I post, Diva Slanesh and Demonette Anime Girl will always get more notes. I just choose not to think about 40k when I log in anymore, because it's just depressing at this point. And I know people will just reblog this or comment this with 4chan responses, or they'll copy-paste Lexicon Wiki's definition of Slanesh, like you have no idea what it is. It's kind of a topic that has been going on for a while. Like, you got the side of a fandom where people only pick and choose what they kind of how they perceive Slanesh or 40k in general. And Sean, you kind of brought this to the to the table. What's your thoughts on this?
Having seen both sides of the fence,
Mhm.
the ha 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 angry Marines, and the serious side collecting and being like really into the fluff and stuff. It's yeah, I can understand where it's coming from, because if you Google Slanesh, oh not Google, sorry, if you search Slanesh on Tumblr, all you're gonna get is the Demonette girl or Diva Slanesh. Not really what it's about. And I guess the people who are really into the lore and fluff we're a dying race, I guess, because as it gets more and more airtime, so to speak, people are just gonna go to the most easily accessible stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a Tumblr problem, and I think and that's kind of the problem that I've had with Tumblr for a while now. Is you post something that's amazing, and because it doesn't follow certain trends, or following the right people, or the right people don't reblog you or whatever like that, it just kind of gets lost in the mass of posts, and that's kind of my problem with Tumblr, and that's really the problem that I find with it is you get these like fandoms and stuff, and I think I'm definitely on the fence of I mean 40k is a big part of my life that I've spent doing and reading fluff and painting models and designing armies and just all that stuff. So I really take more of a serious look at it, and stuff like Angry Marines. It was kind of a laugh when I first saw it, but then when I started realizing that people actually took that seriously as part of the the fluff, it was kind of annoying. I'm like, you kidding me? Like, I mean, Savage, what are your thoughts on this kind of debate between
I think people are just incompetent and have no idea. They just see one person sing about dicks and tentacles, and then they follow the same thing. They never actually read the fluff about it or anything like that. They see one thing on the internet, and it's just the same thing repetitively over and over again.
Yeah.
Like,
the big one for me is like people see like a big fat guy and they think Nurgle. Well, not really, because Slanesh is about excess as well, and part of excess isn't just like doing lots of drugs. It's eating, and gluttony and all that. And I've always wanted to kind of have a Slanesh army in my HQ. It's just this really like big fat guy that can barely move kind of thing. And it's just people think it's all about one thing, when it's there's a bigger thing, bigger spectrum. So it's
even that, like, Nurgle isn't like fat. It's decay.
Yeah.
Like, it has nothing to do with fat at all.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I want to put this topic in there just on the whole debate. I think it's a bit. It's gone on too long. No side is ever going to win, or really, nothing's really going to happen. No. And I don't want to stop people from if you want to take that more of a silly approach to 40k, go for it. I don't want to stop you from doing that. If that's how you enjoy 40k, so be it. No one can really, no, it's no one's right to tell you not to, do that. So that's just my final thoughts on it.
I think my biggest gripe with it is the people that think they know everything about it, and then they, like, comment on things and stuff like that. Like, I've seen it before on Tumblr where they've commented and said something which is completely wrong, trying to put down this other person.
Like Matt Ward memes that make no sense.
Yeah.
And it's clear that the person doesn't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah, Matt Ward is like, he wrote like a couple like cheesy codexes, but you look at all the other codexes he writes, like, they're balanced and things. Like,
so, Sean, final words on this topic here?
I think the biggest problem is that people are narrow-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's it. People are narrow-minded.
Alright, so let's Well, I mean, I have no idea what your next topic on Shamehammer is, but I'm hoping it's something a bit more light-hearted. So,
Yeah,
Savage,
yeah.
Savage, what's your
It- Little bonus thing
yeah?
is
What's your bonus? Come on, be more light-hearted.
if you, I know you don't have a picture of it, but I just saw this before on the Games Workshop's website, and it's the Eldar cover for your the collector's edition book.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is just the poorest thing I've ever seen for an extra like $80. You're paying for a sleeve of green with a couple of like symbols printed over and over again. Like,
Oh, I thought I
there's
might have had one.
it's just nothing to it. It just it's a complete money grab, that one. Like, the other ones that had like, you know, a little bit of cool pictures and stuff. This one's just like green with green symbols.
Like the Tau one yet had that kind of like dust protector, but it was a cool one. You know, it had like that, you know, transparent hexagon kind of Xenos feel to it.
Yeah.
And this one's terrible.
Yeah.
They're just getting worse.
Yeah, like I have to say, I think the Demons Codex limited edition was probably the best. How they had the 4 different like gods.
Yeah, and you got a little letter.
Yeah. No, they had artwork on there. I
Yeah,
think.
but I mean, like, you also got that little letter that came with it, telling that
Oh, yeah.
you were a kick-ass demon herald, and keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, keep buying out shitty products. They're not shit, except for the Eldar limited edition.
Okay, so we'll okay, so we have 3 things in there. Savage, what's your vote go to get crushed by the Shamehammer?
Honestly, I'm probably gonna go with the Eldar limited edition because it's horrendous.
What about you, Sean?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. That is horrific.
Well, my vote doesn't matter, but yeah, I'll go with that too. So since it's your
Just
first
make
time
it
on the show, Sean, you have got to do the hammer sound to crush that topic.
The hammer sound that doesn't sound
Any
like a
hammer
hammer.
sound, it doesn't even have to sound like a hammer.
Thump. There you
Okay,
go.
that's the closest thing we've had to a hammer before. So I think last week it was like a cat. So
Yeah. And then my other one was a whip,
yeah.
and
And I think I repeated the whip as well by mistake one week. So, so next we have Unit of the Week. Again, this one's from Savage. So he's really picking up the slack since Seb's kind of not been here this week. So, Savage, you picked Kharn. So you can kick stuff off, and why Kharn?
what was that?
Kharn, why'd you pick Kharn?
Why'd I pick Khan?
Yeah.
Because he is disgustingly awesome and cheap as chips for a HQ.
How many points does he
He-
come to?
160.
Yeah. That is cheap.
Like, yeah, he's just ridiculously good as well. Like, the biggest problem I've had with him is he either turns into a spawn or turns into a demon prince. You might think, yeah, demon prince is good, but it's Khan, and if you like read through his rules, he all loses, then yeah, demon prince is not as good as Khan.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Cheap HQ, can do a lot of damage. Yeah, a few downsides with him, that he kills his own units sometimes. But at the end of the day, he kicks a lot of ass. And I mean, 160 points, come on. Like, that is disgustingly cheap for an HQ like that. It's like, what's the point of making your own Chaos Lord when you can have that guy?
Yeah, it's he's pretty crazy. Like, he just rips through guys. I had a game once that I made a pretty cheesy list. I had Khan, Abaddon, and I think I had a couple of Terminators or a couple of Chosen in a Land Raider,
Mhm.
just riding around and just assaulting everything. And oh yeah, Seb's just asked how bad the friendly casualties were. every time I played him, I haven't really been that bad because he does get, I think he gets preferred enemy or something like that that lets him reroll ones in the first round of combat.
I think you killed two when you versed me, was it?
Yeah, yeah, it's very minimal for, like, it seems bad, but at the same time, it rarely happens. More likely to turn to a spawn.
Yeah. I mean, I just think the friendly casualties, yeah, it's probably rare, but at the same time, it's like you lose that one berserker, and how many points is a berserker?
Like 21 from memory.
Yeah.
But
a
but
bad
see, I don't
roll.
run him with. Yeah, I don't run him with berserkers. I run him with a squad of like 30 cultists.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter.
So yeah, instead of having a transport, he's got 30 cultists that stand in front of him before he gets to combat.
And in all honesty, he's probably going to be killing them anyway, just to get his blood wet before his chainsword wet with blood before he goes to combat.
Yeah, like it's a throwaway unit. It's just as cheap as a rhino, really.
Mm-hmm.
Even cheaper, I think. Anyway, carrying on.
So, tactics and how to use this guy. How would you recommend running him?
Well, like the cultists, 30 cultists in a
Mhm.
with Nurgle in a squad, that's pretty deadly. Otherwise, I've had him.
How would
in
you
a
use him if you did that? Because obviously you're not going to be taking on, well, like Terminator squads or something. Like, what do you attack when you run them with cultists?
The only way I run him with cultists sort of come up against is orcs, and I kind of use it to like who I was playing. He plays a lot of bikes,
Mm-hmm.
so kind of grabs the bikes and just gets stuck in that big assault, and then Kharn just rips through them. So otherwise, it does take a while to get him to the other side. If you've got an army that shoots a lot, you're probably better off putting him in a transport or something. But yeah, if you've got a close combat army that you're coming up against, I'd definitely go the cultists. Otherwise, put him in probably a land raid is your best bet.
Yeah, I don't really have much experience with close combat characters. I prefer to take more of a support role, and then when I do take my close combat HQs, yeah, Rhino's not the best thing to put him in because of how it's difficult to assault out of them. I prefer to run them on bikes. Obviously, you can't do that with Kharn, but yeah, a land raid is the next best thing. So a land raider with some berserkers in it, that's a pretty deadly unit right there.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing that kind of goes back to the friendly casualties is he has what every like Chaos Lord and aspiring champion has is the what is it, like Mark of Chaos something or other. I can't remember what it was.
Mhm.
And so he has to challenge. So most of the time he'll kill like whoever he's challenged, and then by that time, if you're running him with a blob squad of cultists, the cultists will probably get whittled down, and it'll whittle down the rest of the squad. Otherwise, I've had where when he's in with berserkers, the berserkers end up eating the rest of the squad, and he just annihilates whoever he's challenging.
Right. So Sean, I know you're fairly new to actually playing the game. Any thoughts on Khan though?
I'm just looking through a review of the 6th edition Codex.
Mm-hmm.
And about the friendly casualties thing. In order to wound his own unit, he not only has to miss, but has to roll a 1 on the reroll. So it's, rarely going to happen.
Yeah.
As for the rest of it, he's cheap. He challenges someone if he's in a band of... If he's with a squad of berserkers, that good luck is all I can say. If you're with cultists, okay, yep, you've got a lot of meat shield.
So does he still have that kind of psychic power denial on him?
Yes, Blessing of the Blood God. Kharn passes Deny the Witch rolls on a 2+.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
Yeah.
I would just honestly like 160 points. I'd nearly just take him for that.
It does it does give it to his squad as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, deny the witch. So it's if he
Yeah.
and his squad get targeted, but it used to be like he just couldn't get targeted, right? In fifth
Yeah,
edition.
as psychic abilities could not work on him at all.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
it did get toned down a bit.
I wouldn't probably take him in my chaos list, but at the same time, he's an insane character for the price, and I think that's what it always comes back to. It's like he can do this, this, and this. Oh, but he can't do that, that, and that. He's 160 points. What do you expect? So, and I think that's really it. So we'll move on to the lab, where we're going to be talking about an army list that was sent in to us by, again, forgot the user's name. So sorry about that. I'll try and write that down next time so I remember. But here's the list. It's a Necron list with Tau allies. So it's an Overlord with a Resurrection Orb, War Scythe, Mind Shackle Scarabs, Illumina Caesaris, or whatever his name is, a Cryptek of Destruction with Eldritch Lance, Necron Lord with Resurrection Orb, Mind Shackle Scarabs, Gauntlet of Fire, 10 Immortals with Tesla Carbines in a Night Scythe, 10 Immortals with Tesla Carbines in a Night Scythe, a Doom Scythe, then you got the Tau, which is an Ethereal, 14 Crute with Sniper Ammo, a Riptide with shielded missile drones, or shielded missile drones, I don't know. Ion Accelerator, Stim Injector, Velocity Tracker, 3 broadsides with shield or missile drones, Velocity Tracker, Target Tracker, Bonding Knife, Ritual, yeah. It's 1850 points, so you've got a really nice Air Force with the Necrons, and then you've got a really nice anti-air with the Tau. There's not much to really say about this list, because we've already seen this from the past, from tournaments, from anything. You make a list like this, you throw in 3 flies of Necrons with Immortals, you can't go wrong. It's hard to talk about a list like that because it's already been seen to do well. Necron flyers do well in tournaments. Necron flyers do well in general. I think the big thing is taking the Tau for allies, and as far as I can tell, the Tau allies are there to kick some flyer ass. But to me it feels like, and I'm not knocking the list because it's a good list. Like, that list is going to do well, and I don't think anyone can really argue that. But it kind of feels like you're taking last month's flavor of the month and you're adding in this month's flavor of the month, and that's what it feels like to me. Savage, your thoughts on? I'm pretty sure he's going to agree with me, but your thoughts on the list itself?
Yeah, pretty much what you said. Like, it's gonna do some serious damage, but at the same time, it's not like a story-driven list.
Yeah, you're playing Tau with Necrons. It's
yeah, if someone could write a story for that and make it good, then yeah. But I always go into, like, when I make lists, I go more for like the story-driven aspect.
Yeah,
that's
you
just
go
the
in
way
with the
that I play.
mindset of fluff. You want a list that's fluffy.
But at the same time, not everyone's like me, so I can see how this appeals to other people.
Yeah, it's a nice list. I like the Tau part of it. The Crute with sniper ammo, a nice unit for like 98 points. The Riptide. It's hard to critique it because it's going to do well. You've seen it done well in the past. You know it's going to do well. So how can you fault it? It just comes down to a matter of do you take it from the fluff perspective, or do you take it from the competitive perspective? Sean, what's your kind of thoughts on this? I know you haven't really played much of the game, but if someone came up to you with a Necron list with some Tau allies, what's your mindset on that?
I'm a Savage on this. I would tend to build an army with a more fluffy aspect to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have no idea, or like costs for value, what the
Mm-hmm.
units are like. So, not the best person to ask, but it's odd. Necron and Tau, you wouldn't think of that.
Yeah, it's basically a competitive list. It's yeah, it's hard to critique a list like this because again, you know it's going to do well. You have 3 flyers in there, not just flyers. You have 3 Necron flyers, and then you have Tau, which kick a lot of anti-air. But yeah, so that's really my thoughts on it. I'm sorry if it kind of seems like a negative kind of critique on it, but I guess that's just our thoughts on it. And I find that's the biggest hurdle with a list like this is, you go to your local gaming store and you will have to deal with people looking at it in a negative light because you are taking 2 armies that really don't fight with each other, like fight on the same side. And some people aren't going to like that.
What I would say for this is, if this is a list like built for tournaments, then definitely take this to a tournament because it would kick some serious butt. But if you're just going into like your local game store or something like that, you probably won't make too many friends like Toxic.
Yeah, I mean, I make my lists relatively competitive, but at the same time, I'm not making a list like that. I don't even really want to take allies with my Space Wolves, even though I would love to take some allies to get some anti-air options. But I was thinking Tau for a little while, but really, I don't really see that happening. If I took allies, it would be Imperial Guard.
It could be worse. It could be Grey Knights and Necrons.
Yeah, I think Grey Knights and Necrons are the one that everyone just kind of face palms, but I wouldn't be surprised next tournament we get the results of if you start seeing some Tau Necron, some Grey Knight Tau, because Tau are really the masters of taking down flyers right now. But again, nothing to do with the list right now. You can kind of, if someone's got 1 flyer and stuff, you can kind of ignore them. Really, I mean, I've had 2 games against Helldrakes now in the last couple weeks, and I just ignored it. I shot a couple shots at it because my missile launchers didn't really have any other target, and I kind of just wanted to show Seb how hard it is to take down a Helldrake. But I won both those games, and the Helldrake, I kind of just ignored it. But yeah, good list. May have some trouble getting friends with it though. If you're looking at it just a friendly scene, but if you're going to tournaments, I wish you the best. Take it. Sounds good to me.
What this list does do though is, like, if you're taking it to tournaments, you could take it as one whole thing. If you're going to like your local store
you
for a
just
friendly
take the
game,
Tau
split
out,
it in half. Yeah, split it in half. Then it's still a decent army. And most of the games that I've played at hobby stores have been about 1,000 to 1,500 points.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I mean, it's
yeah.
At the same thing, I kind of look at it and it's like, well, would you rather face that, or would you rather just face Necrons with flyers? It's more fluffy, but it's kind of crazy. Just you'd add another 3 flyers in there or 2 flyers. It's a difficult one, but I personally would rather go to a tournament and struggle with a fluffy list rather than just walking through it with this on this like not fluffy competitive list. That's just me personally though, and I feel when I look at lists like this that win, I always kind of look at it with an asterisk, like, yeah, you won, but look what list you took. When I see lists that like a Tyranid army winning a tournament, I look at that and I'm like, yeah, you won that tournament. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of, you look at it like, well, you won the tournament, but look at the list you took.
Did you really win?
Yeah. It's
it's a list to win, not like a list to enjoy. I guess I can't find the right word. This is as close as I got to it. But like, you could enjoy it, but like coming from a fluff kind of thing. I don't know.
But
I think we've got it across anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, my 2 cents on it is, it'd be like taking, and this is mixing shows here, but it'd be like taking a netboard deck in Magic the Gathering to Friday Night Magic, where everyone else is using homebrew decks, and you've got one that, you know, someone won a world tournament with.
Mm-hmm. I have no clue about Magic, but I do understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, it's yeah. So but yeah, thanks for sending us the list. You gave us something to talk about. I hope you don't feel too bad about what we said about it. You know, keep sending us lists, and anyone, you know, it gives us something to talk about. We like talking about different lists. So yeah, so we'll move on because we are at 1 hour and 20 right now. So we'll move on to hobby tip of the week, and I think I said I was
hobby tip.
I think I said I was gonna say something about hobby tip, which I don't know. I don't really have one. Seb, help me. I don't know.
I had a good one, and I just can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
I literally was on the drive home, and it's just completely gone now.
It's just my painting and all my hobby is just so like kind of like robotic now. It's just I do this, I do this, I do that, and it's done. I don't come up with new tips anymore because I haven't been doing anything new.
Like the way that I paint, I don't know if this is a hobby tip or anything, but it's to stop me going crazy. I don't go to the store and paint because I find that the store is full of really, really young kids that talk a bit too much. But I paint with friends. I've got some friends that used to be into 40k and tabletop games in general. And so when we paint, it's silent for a bit, we'll bounce ideas off each other, and it just keeps us a bit sane.
Yeah, I like that. That's exactly what, when I still lived in Australia, that's what we did. We had painting days where we would invite friends, you know, get a big table, put everyone's paints down, you know, and it makes the day go by a bit faster. You know, you get to paint and talk, and then by the time you kind of realize it, you've finished a squad. A few hours have gone by, but it's been fun because you've had your friends around. And I mean, Savage, would you agree there?
Yeah, it's definitely more motivating having other people around painting, like friends especially, because it just, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I know our group kind of fell apart at the end there, and it was just me and you on most of those painting days, but still a great day, great way to get stuff painted.
Yeah, it's still better than sitting at my desk painting by myself.
Yeah,
because I think I've painted like 2 full models, like completed 2 models since being all alone.
Yeah. Although I still think that when we did have our painting days, like everyone would be painting and you'd just be sitting there with a guitar or something like that.
Yeah. Well, here's another hobby tip: is you need to have some diversity. You can't. Well, really, like, you know, I play 40k, and that's like the only tabletop game that I play. But I do other things like do like RPGs and, you know, stuff like that. It's always better to have a couple of things going on, otherwise you will just burn out doing the same thing over and over again.
What do you mean? As I'm painting my 100th Space Marine, Space Wolf? No.
Yeah, but you still do RPGs.
Well, yeah, that was kind of our hobby tip last week. I think it was like, yeah, just kind of break it up a little bit. Don't get burnt out. You know, have breaks. It's yeah. But yeah, I think that's our hobby tip. If you got some friends, get them around and have a painting day, because you're either gonna get more done or you're gonna get less done, but you're gonna have a great day. Because a lot of our painting days just turn into games. We like paint like
Yeah,
a
well-
model, and then we'd be like, you know what would be cool if we had a game, and then be like, we'd play with our grey army.
I think our painting days ended up to let's buy armies, put them together, and then play them days.
Pretty much, be like, let's paint this. Like, why do we paint this when we go to Games Workshop and buy another army?
Yeah, we did that a fair few times.
Yeah. So, but yeah, don't go into a storm and with the idea that you're gonna get something painted, because it's probably not gonna happen. It's very distracting to go into a store and paint.
It's so difficult, and the table's wobbly, or there's kids like sticking their nose in.
Yeah,
wondering
picking up
what
your
you're
models when
painting.
they're wet. Can
Yeah,
I touch this? No. Picks it up anyway. Oh, I had that happen so
Yeah.
many times. I'm like, no, that is wet. They pick it up. Oh, I'm sorry. Or like you'd leave like a pot open and someone would knock the table and your paint just spills everywhere. Oh my god.
or a time I had wasn't even like painting. Is I bought clippers and I put them down with the rest of my stuff, and someone had picked them up and moved them. Like me and you went for lunch,
Mhm.
and then when we came back, someone had been using my clippers. Like, oh, I thought they were the store ones. I'm like, yeah, the store ones sitting on top of my stuff.
Mhm. It's
Scumbag kid. Is that model wet? Picks it up anyway.
I like going to Games Workshop
Troll
stores. I haven't been to one since I said I wouldn't go there in a while, but yeah, they're good to go get games in and just kind of talk about the hobby, but if you're going to paint, it's probably not the best place to go.
Yeah, you're better off sitting at home and not painting. You get just as much done.
Unless it's a weekday. I did have a couple of good days where it was like a weekday and there was no kids around. But apart from
Yeah,
that,
you get that rare day every now and then.
yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, so I think we'll move into our outro now, as we're coming up to an hour and a half. Our movie length episode of the Hammer, but yeah. So that's it. That's our show. It's episode 18. Thank everyone for watching. Again, like always, all these episodes are free. Everything we do is free. We don't make any profit from this, but we do have a donate button on the Dice Troop blog if anyone would like to do that. We have had a few people, and we thank everyone for doing that. So I think we have, at the moment I think Fox is kind of in and out with he's moving or doing something. He doesn't have internet, so again, any questions, I'm here. Got Seb. Occasionally, Savage might check the inbox.
I check it, but the message is gone by the time I get to it.
Yeah, and then
Like someone else. Oh.
Yeah. So, Seb's telling me that fluff talk Thursday, Thousand Suns.
You've done really well today.
I have done very well stumbling over my words. Seb also says, looking for people with ideas, wanting to contribute to Lore Keepers, which I think is like Fluff Talks, but it's on lore from many different games.
Same, but different.
Savage and I will maybe do some tactics videos, but probably not.
Well, we almost got some done, and then I went to bed.
Yeah,
It was like 4 a.m.
Yeah, we almost got some done, but we didn't. Hopefully we will. I will hopefully get another top 5 out. That's going to be Chaos, the next one. So maybe I'll maybe after the show we'll talk about it with Savage and we'll make a top 5 for that. I'm assuming that Table Talks is still on Monday. Yeah, I don't know. Stuff is on. Check out the blog, Dice Troop. Also, I have a thing going on at Toxic Painting on Facebook. If I get to 100 likes, I will be doing a random draw for everyone that likes the page, and the winner will get a painted Space Marine Razorback in the chapter of their choice. So, go to Toxic Painting on Facebook, like that. Maybe you'll get a Razorback. If not, you can get a commission done. So I think we're good.
Yeah.
So I'll catch you all next week. I'd like to thank
thanks.
Sean for filling in.
Not a problem.
What's your Tumblr, by the way, so people can check that out?
I'll Seanography, but the O is a 0.
Okay. And like we got Savage Pancake and Tactician Toxic, so there you go. Okay. So thanks for everyone for watching, and have a good one.
Ta-da-bye.
Doodles. That's the sound hammers make, right? Meow.